everybody, it's Victoria Marie and I'm back with another process video. This one's called Filled Journal, and I will tell you, that wood veneer frame by Maggie Holmes, I was so challenged by that frame. I don't know why. I've seen people use it so many times on layouts and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. But I said, you know what, I'm just going to give it a shot. So what I'm using today is the June Scraptastic kit, and this kit is called Thinking Out Loud, and it's been sitting around because we moved recently, and I will tell you, this kit got lost in the mail. It went back to the Scraptastic headquarters in South Carolina, and I live in Texas, and so I had to wait for a while, but it eventually got back to me. So I'm showing you some of the papers and the embellishments and things that I want to use. And I buy the main kit and the add-on as well as the paper add-on. And that just always gives me a nice supply of things to use. So my thought was I was going to take that acetate paper that has the hexagons on them. I think those are hexagons. I'm not sure. And I'm back that on a piece of white cardstock. Then I took some pattern paper from the collection. And I'm using papers from Crate Paper, the Confetti collection. I'm also using some, let's see, there's a lot of Crate Paper. There's Confetti, there's Craft Market. I'm using some exclusive to Scraptastic papers, pattern papers. I'm also using some pattern papers from American Crafts, the Dear Lizzie collection from the Dandy Dazzling line, or Fine and Dandy line. God, they have so many names for papers. I can't even keep up with it. And so lots of really, really pretty papers. So I decided that I wanted to take a photo, and this is a photo of my little girl, and she has decided to start a filled journal. Now, mind you, she can't read or write yet. So she's doing a lot of pre-reading and pre-writing type of things. And she learned about a filled journal in a book she was reading. And so she decided that she's going to start carrying a filled journal from now on. So I wanted the attention to be drawn to that photo of her sitting on the couch one evening, filling out her filled journal with all kinds of little scribbles. So I take some doilies, and that's from the Paper Studio. I got those at Hobby Lobby. And then I also take some die cuts from the I believe this is called Citrus Bliss from Pink Paisley die cuts that we got. So there's a generous amount of die cuts, and there's some that are acetate and some that are cardstock die cuts. And you see my layering video, you know I love to layer, so I'm just layering different die cuts around the photo. And at this point, I'm not quite sure if this is how I want to keep it, but then I go ahead and make that decision. So I'm going to adhere everything down and get the cluster finished, get the layering finished. And all of this is going to sit on top of the frame, the wood veneer frame you're going to see here in a minute. The citrus twist, ooh, can't say that too fast. It has little fruit elements and food elements, and I just had to make it work. I mean, there's nothing lemony or citrus about this page other than the colors, or at least the topic of the page. So I'm just, you know, sometimes you just make it work. So now I decided I needed to add the journaling, or the title, and the title is called Filled Journal, and I'm using some thicker fonts. My favorite font right now is the hardcover in gold, which you'll see again here in a second. And then that didn't actually come with the kit, that came out of my stash. And then the foam navy blue stickers are called Twilight, and those are from Thickers as well. So the fun thing about this frame is that you can either leave it open and leave it plain, or you can back it with some pattern paper, with vellum. You can do all kinds of things with this. You can alter it if you want to. This is just a really, really fun way to jazz up your layouts. And oddly enough, I was very hesitant to use it, so I just said, hey, I'm gonna give it a go. It came with the kit, so why not? And this is by Maggie Holmes, by the way. So essentially I'm just trimming out some papers, and there's no right or wrong to do this. I just picked out papers that I thought would go good with this layout, and I start cutting them out to fit the frame. And let's see, I'm trying to see if it's gonna fit well so it could adhere. And then in a second, I think I'm gonna put some washi tape because those strips are actually not layering over each other in the back. So I'm going to put some washi tape on it to hold them together. Actually, I don't know why I used that particular washi tape. That's some of my favorite washi tape. Okay, so I'm going to take that acetate piece and put that over some white cardstock. So I essentially created a pattern paper. And I'm trying to decide the orientation of my photo. And now that I'm looking at this video, I probably should have kept it there. But there's a reason why I changed it, and I can't remember why. So then at this point, I decide I need more pattern paper in the back of that frame. And that beautiful floral paper is actually, it shows up looking like it's black and white. It's actually navy blue, I believe. And that is exclusive to Scraptastic. And I think I got 2 sheets of that, so I'm very excited because it's super, super pretty. I needed something a little bit subtle, and you will notice that there's a lot going on in terms of patterns and colors, and I'm okay with that. What became a challenge was further embellishing because I couldn't decide if I needed more or less, but you'll see what I end up with here in a second. So again, just trimming out some papers to make it fit. There's not an exact science to it. And I'm really liking this frame. I think I might order another one of these. And maybe there's some different shapes on the market. I'm a little intimidated by using some of these wood veneers that are this large, but this actually worked out well. And it does look nice in a page protector for those of you who are curious about it. It's not too bulky. So I think I'm ready to start finalizing some things here. And I am going to just try to decide again where I want the title. And now I'm looking at this, I should have kept the orientation of those photos there. But, oh well, it looks good. I second guess myself. So I put my title on some wax paper this time because I wanted to move around the page to decide where I want it, and I don't do that often. And I'm going to go ahead and commit, and I'm going to put the frame down, I'm going to put the photo down, and this time I'm going to put it in the center because I want the focus of that photo, of this layout, to be on the photo of my little sweetie sitting there writing in her field journal. Lots of scribbles and pictures, and she makes up songs and she makes up stories, and there's all kinds of fantastical characters in her journaling. And then of course, you know, mommy has to read it, so I'm very talented at reading scribble. Okay, so I'm putting the thickers down on the page. And I'm committed to using wax paper more often because oftentimes I will put the journaling on the page and then say, oh, nope, don't want it there, and I'll rip it up, and then I end up messing up the page. Now at this point I'm thinking, what else can I add? So I'm looking at some denim stickers, and those are from We Are Memory Keepers, their Denim Blues collection. And I don't particularly care for denim, but I kind of see why it goes well with this kit because it does have navy blues and stuff in it. And so I'm going to try to use it up. My goal is to try to use all my kits. I'm actually 2 months behind on kits, and I'm usually pretty caught up. But with moving and everything, I kind of got behind. So that particular package came with some arrows, some denim arrows. And I want to use this ampersand, but it's just not going to happen. I'm going to have to use that on another layout. And by the way, those little pins that you see there are also from Maggie Holmes, which worked out perfectly. Her line tends to use a lot of the, in her line she tends to use a lot of the turquoisey light colors. So that cut apart's exclusive from Scraptastic, and it says, I cut it to say remember this, and then I added a flare that's exclusive to the kit as well. Then I bring out some more of those die cuts, and I'm feeling that I need more somewhere, but I can't decide what, and so I fiddle around with a bunch of die cuts for a minute before I settle on something. That remember this goes away for just a second because I decide I don't want it there. Then I'm thinking I need something at the right side of that photo towards the bottom. So I'm going to fool around with that for a minute. And that is a butterfly and a heart. And I'm thinking it needs to be something that I need to put something to back it. And then I change my mind. Then I pull out some vellum pieces from the Scraptastic kit. These are exclusive. And it came with all these different arrows and shapes. And I thought, oh, what if I just kind of frame the heart with those arrows? And then I said, no, that's too busy and it looks cheesy. So I add the flare back in, but this time at the top of that heart, and then I grab 2 of those vellum arrows and put those there at the top. And it's not like I need any more arrows, I just couldn't decide what to put there, so yeah, it'll work. Then I grabbed some of the enamel dots that came in the kit, and those are by Chicken Nitty. I cannot say that, Lord. And I'm fooling around with these, trying to decide what I want. And then I think I decide on that bow. Yes, I do. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down. And with vellum, sometimes with adhesive, of course, you can see the adhesive. And so I'm going to try to cover that up with an enamel dot and decide that I need something else to sort of layer on that. So I grab a acetate piece that came with the die cut pack and put that on the heart with the enamel dot, and I call that good, at least for that little right corner. And then I come back up to the top, and I tried so many things, and this layout actually took me about an hour to do. I finally had to decide to just, put stuff down and move on, because I have a lot of scrapping to do to catch up since I've been gone. So I'm going to go ahead and cluster those cutouts, and it says remember this, and then I grab a vellum heart that came exclusive to the kit. I'm going to go ahead and commit to that and put that down. All right, that looks good. And then I'm going to grab a enamel piece there that's a butterfly, also from Chicken Nitty. And I feel that I need to add something else to that, but I'm not quite sure, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I want to use that sunshine die cut, and I tried that in many places on the layout. It just wasn't gonna work. So I'm looking at it. Do I need anything else? I add some enamel dots there at the bottom of the heart. Then I grab my Stettler Tri Plus Fine Liner pen, which I love. I don't know why I paused there to think about that. You can buy Stettler pens at Target. They are not archival. I'm okay with that. But they are a quick dry pen, which I like, and they're thin. So I'm going to draw some journaling lines, and I'm going to journal about all the things that my little kiddo likes to write in her field journal, which is super cute. Need to add a little bit more of a line. And then I'm thinking, oh, I probably need to add a date. So I'm going to grab my Heidi Swap Roll-A-Date stamp and my Stays On ink and go ahead and stamp on the page. And it was kind of awkward because of that top layer there, but that's okay. I made it work. And I think I am happy with this. I think it turned out great. I'm so glad that I used that wood veneer and kind of challenged myself. So there you go. Some photos are coming up, and I'll see you guys later.